In this video, I will be going over the pros and cons of living in Pebble Beach, California. Pebble Beach is one of the most beautiful settings on the central coast of California and one of the most prestigious places to purchase real estate, with some of the highest prices in the state of California and United States. In this video, I'll be breaking down some of the best parts of living in Pebble Beach, but also some of the drawbacks. What's up everyone? Toby Fernie, Realtor in the Monterey, California area. If you're new to the channel, it is about all things real estate and living here in the Monterey area. Likes and subscriptions to the channel are always greatly appreciated. If you're considering purchasing in Carmel-By-The Sea, downtown Monterey, Pacific Grove, or some of the other surrounding areas, I've linked some videos in the description below comparing some of the pros and cons of living in those different neighborhoods as well. I've also done several other videos about Pebble Beach, so if you're looking for more information, check the description below and you can find additional information from my channel about Pebble Beach. Now, Pebble Beach is the name of a golf course, but it's also the name of the town, which has several golf courses within its gates. If after watching this video you decide that Pebble Beach is the type of place that you would like to live, make sure that you give me a call, send me a text or an email, and let me know how I can help. The cost to purchase a home in Pebble Beach can be pretty similar to that of the cost to purchase a home in Carmel. One of the main differences in what you'll get in Pebble Beach that you won't have in Carmel is privacy from the tourists and people who like to come to the area. For starters, Pebble Beach is a gated community. Granted, anyone can enter through the gates by paying the cost to enter. Quite a few tourists do pay the cost and drive through the gates when taking the tour of 17 Mile Drive. Along with the privacy provided by being part of a gated community, the homes in Pebble Beach and lots tend to be larger and more spread out than many of the neighborhoods on the Monterey Peninsula. Some of the neighborhoods, like the new housing developments in Marina, the houses are so close together you could potentially look through your neighbor's window and see what type of toothpaste they use. Houses tend to be more spread out, and many of the houses in Pebble Beach have large protective gates and walls for additional privacy. So why is driving along 17 Mile Drive a popular activity for tourists? Saying that Pebble Beach and the coastal views along 17 Mile Drive are beautiful would be an understatement. There are breathtaking views of the Pacific along 17 Mile Drive and from many of the palatial estates located within Pebble Beach. One of my favorite things about living on the Monterey Peninsula is riding along the Monterey Bay Coastal Recreational Trail. This trail stretches from Marina all the way to Pebble Beach. It is a great way to enjoy the temperate climate in Monterey and get some exercise while riding along the Pacific. You'll often see Pebble Beach residents riding their bikes, walking along the coastal trails, maybe enjoying a picnic at one of the many beach settings in Pebble Beach, and catching the sunset. If you're considering Pebble Beach as a place to live or even to visit, you're likely aware that Pebble Beach is one of the top golf destinations in the entire world. Every year, the AT&T Professional Golf Tournament is held at Pebble Beach. Along with the course named Pebble Beach, there are several other courses such as Spanish Bay, The Hay, Cypress Point Club, Spyglass, and Poppy Hills. Not only are these some of the best golf courses in the world, you're also going to enjoy those coastal views of the Pacific as you golf. People travel from all over the world to play at Pebble Beach. Depending on where you live, you may be able to walk out of your back door onto one of those golf courses. There are also several clubs and restaurants within the gates of Pebble Beach with good food and a place to grab a drink. Chances are, if you're looking to purchase a home in Pebble Beach or even join one of the clubs, you're probably doing all right financially. Being able to purchase a home in Pebble Beach means that you're likely not just a one percenter, but potentially a top 1% of those one percenters. I would almost equate it to the Beverly Hills of Monterey County. Playing a round of golf alone at Pebble Beach will cost you a pretty penny. So if you're living in Pebble Beach or just planning to come to the area and stay at the lodge, there is a level of prestige that comes along with Pebble Beach. There tend to be plenty of events like the Concours d'Elegance throughout the year that are held in Pebble Beach, but like I said at one of my earlier points, there does tend to be more privacy in Pebble Beach than you might get in places like Carmel-By-The Sea. Pebble Beach is an interesting place to look at when you are comparing home prices along with school districts. Depending on where you live, if your children end up going to public schools, they could be zoned in Monterey schools, Pacific Grove schools, or Carmel schools if you live in Pebble Beach. Both Pacific Grove and Carmel have some of the top-rated school districts in the state of California. It can be quite interesting to compare home prices in Pebble Beach across the 3 different districts. If you had the exact same home and it was in the Carmel side of Pebble Beach, it would be more expensive than if it was in the Pacific Grove or the Monterey school side of Pebble Beach. There is also a very highly rated and prestigious private school in Pebble Beach called Stevenson. Okay, let's get into some of the cons of living in Pebble Beach. I know that I talk about this one on the channel quite frequently. Monterey County is one of the most expensive counties in all of California. That being said, Pebble Beach is the most expensive place in all of Monterey County. There are also some homes in Carmel and Big Sur that will have similar price points to that of Pebble Beach. As of mid-October 2023, there are 24 single-family residences listed for sale in Pebble Beach. The most affordable house on the market right now is $2,095,000, and the most expensive house listed on the market is $29 million, with a median list price of $5,985,000. In recent years, some homes in Pebble Beach have sold north of $35 million. So when I said that purchasing a home in Pebble Beach means that you are probably in the top 1% of 1%ers financially, now you know what I mean. Along with the beautiful landscape, privacy, and epic real estate comes prices that match. If you're not from the area or haven't lived here for a long time, the first time that you go into Pebble Beach, it can be kind of confusing and like a maze to find your way around. There are plenty of signs which point you in the right direction and will get you to major landmarks such as the Lodge or some of the different golf courses within Pebble Beach. If you stay along 17 Mile Drive, that can be an easy way for you to find your way through Pebble Beach. But if you're trying to find a particular location or home, it can be kind of confusing to find your way there. I know what you're thinking, who doesn't use a GPS or their phone nowadays to find out where they're going? Well, better hope that you put the address in prior to leaving your house and getting to Pebble Beach, because there are certain areas in Pebble Beach and also Pacific Grove leading up to the gates of Pebble Beach where the service is quite spotty. Sidewalks? Never heard of them. Apparently sidewalks were an afterthought when building Pebble Beach. While most of the neighborhoods outside of the tourist-filled 17 Mile Drive don't tend to get a ton of traffic or people that are going through, if you are planning to walk or ride your bike, unless you're on one of the coastal trails, you're going to be doing so on the street. Mix that in with the fact that there are plenty of people that this is an area that's a second home for them and there aren't many street lights. It can get quite dark in Pebble Beach. Walking around at night can be kind of dangerous if you're planning to go for a walk or take your dog for a stroll. I've done some sunset bike rides through Pebble Beach, and there are certainly some corners and turns that are not ideal when you look at the fact that many of the streets are pretty narrow and tight for cars going each direction. Combined with somewhat confusing routes to get through Pebble Beach, it can be kind of difficult if you don't know where you're going. Outside of the Lodge and some of the restaurants like Porter's Grill, The Bench, and The Hay, there are not many places to eat or shop in Pebble Beach. There aren't any supermarkets or markets, and there's a limited number of places where you're going to be able to get coffee or do something for entertainment purposes outside of golf. Pebble Beach is a little bit secluded and connected with number 3 that there aren't any sidewalks. If you live in Pebble Beach, you're likely going to have to hop in a car to do most things. Most of the activities in Pebble Beach are centered around golf. While not a very far drive to some of these surrounding towns like Carmel-By-The Sea, Monterey proper, or Pacific Grove, if you're not a golf enthusiast, you're going to be getting in your car a lot in order to find different restaurants and activities to do. I recognize that a lot of people these days get in their car to do anything, but I personally enjoy walking and biking in order to go to local coffee shops, restaurants, bars, and find entertainment and things to do. If you prefer to live in a walking town, then you may want to choose one of those surrounding areas such as Carmel-By-The Sea over Pebble Beach. Overall, Monterey is a pretty temperate climate. Rarely does the temperature go below 50 degrees or above 70 degrees, and in times like the winter, it doesn't really change a whole lot from the summer months. For example, my birthday is in January, and last year on my birthday, I went surfing. Whether the sun is out or you're in one of the foggy locations of Monterey County, it can change the temperature by a good 5 to 10 degrees. If I were to break down the colder and warmer places on the Monterey Peninsula, places like Seaside, Monterey proper, and Delray Oaks and Carmel Valley are in what is known as the Sunshine Belt. Whereas places like Marina, Pacific Grove, Carmel-By-The Sea, and Pebble Beach get far more days of fog. With this fog comes a cooler temperature. Don't get me wrong, there are some absolutely gorgeous days in Pebble Beach. September and October tend to be our warmest days with the most amount of sunshine. You might even get some days that are in the 70s or 80s during September and October in Pebble Beach. But if you're somebody who loves warm weather and sunshine all of the time, then Pebble Beach may not be the ideal location for you. If you can get over the cost of living and afford to live here, Pebble Beach is truly a unique and one-of-a-kind location, one of the most beautiful settings in all of California. If you have any questions about living in Pebble Beach, are a seller wondering the value of your home in today's market, or a buyer looking for your dream home, be sure to give me a call, send me a text, or an email at toby.fernie@gmail.com. Like and subscribe. Stay tuned for future content all about real estate and living here in Monterey, California. Click the icon to subscribe to more content from living in Monterey, California.